Bible study in chapter 12, or First Chronicles, chapter 12 in the King James Version. Now these are they that came to David to Ziklag, while he yet camped himself close because of Saul the son of Kish, and they were among the mighty men, helpers of the war. They were armed with bows and could use both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows out of a bow, even of Saul's brethren of Benjamin. The chief was Ahiezer, then Joash, the son of Shema, the Gibeathite, and Jezael the Pelite, the sons of Asmaveth, and Berekah, and Jehu the Antothite, and Ismaiah the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, and over the 30, and Jeremiah, and Jahaziel, and Jehonan, and Josabad the Gitterathite, Uzai, and Jeremoth, and Beli, and Shemaiah, and Shephatiah the Heraphite, Elkanah, and Josiah, and Azareel, and Jozer, and Joshabim, Joshabim the Kohahites, and Jolah, and Zebediah, the sons of Jehoram of Gedor, and of the Gedites. There separated themselves unto David into the hold to the wilderness men of might, and men of war fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains. Ezer the first, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmana the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elizabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Machbenai the 11th. These were the sons of Gad, captains of the host. One of the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. These are they that went over Jordan in the first month, when it had overflown all his banks, and they put to flight all them of the valleys, both toward the east and toward the west. And there came of the children of Benjamin and Judah to hold unto David. And David went out to meet them, and answered and said unto them, If ye be come peaceably unto me to help me, mine heart shall be knit unto you. But if ye be come to betray me to mine enemies, seeing there is no wrong in mine hands, the God of our fathers look thereon and rebuke it. Then the Spirit came upon Amasiah, who was chief of the captains, and he said, Thine are we, David, and on thy side, thou son of Jesse. Peace be unto thee, and peace be to thine helpers, for thy God helpeth thee. Then David received them, and made them captains of the band. And there fell some of Manasseh to David when he came with the Philistines against Saul to battle, but they helped them not. For the lords of the Philistines upon advisement sent him away, saying, He will fall to his master, Saul, to the jeopardy of our heads. As he went to Ziklag, there fell to him of Manasseh Adnah, and Jozabad, and Jadiel, and Michael, and Jozabad, and Elihu, and Zilthai, captains of the thousands that were of Manasseh. And they helped David against the band of the rovers, for they were all mighty men of valor, and were captains in the host. For at that time, day by day, there came to David to help him, until it was a great host, like the host of God. And these are the numbers of the bands that were ready armed to the war, and came to David to Hebron to turn the kingdom of Saul to him, according to the word of the Lord. The children of Judah that bare shield and spear were 6,800, ready armed to the war. Of the children of Simeon, mighty men of valor for the war, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. And Jehoiada was the leader of the Aaronites, and with him were 3,700. 100. And Zadok, a young man mighty of valor, and of his father's house 20 and 2 captains. And of the children of Benjamin, the kindred of Saul, 3,000. For hitherto the greatest part of them had kept the ward of the house of Saul. And the children of Ephraim, 20,800, mighty men of valor, famous throughout the house of their fathers. And of the half tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, which were expressed by name to come and make David king. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Of Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. And of Naphtali 1,000 captains, and with them with shield and spear 37,000. And of the Danites, expert in war, 28,600, and of Ashar, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, 40,000. And on the other side of Jordan, of the Reubenites and the Gadites, and of the half tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments of war for the battle, 120,000. All these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel, and all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king. And there they were with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had prepared for them. Moreover, they that were nigh them, even unto Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, brought bread and mules on camels, and on mules, and on oxen, and meal, cakes of figs, and bunches of raisins, and wine, and oil, and oxen, and sheep abundantly, for there was joy in Israel. Okay, so they brought their, again, mules or donkeys, and so they were all of one heart. And listen to this, though, in verse 33. Of Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. So it mentions here they were not of double heart. One way to look at that is they were not of double heart, meaning they were not thinking of doing something and following through, but then maybe not following through. Or they weren't looking at something in two different ways. They were all of one mind, one accord. As in when it repeats, but it says it of a little bit differently in verse 38. All these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel, and all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king. All the people came together and had the same exact thought, the same exact process. Everybody was of one accord, and that was they knew that David was going to be king, so they are following the motion of the Lord, and they are all willingly and wanting to do this. And so David ends up becoming king after Saul passes in battle. Bringing past to present. Sometimes we're going through life and we get to places. I almost said it. I almost said it and I'm not going to say it. We get to where we are in something, or when we get to have to make a decision. Those can be tough. That can be really, really tough times when we have to make a decision. It can be something that you may even think is simple. But there's a choice there. Am I going to have wedged fries, or am I going to have just the regular string fries today? Or am I going to have, a salad, or am I going to just go ahead and eat that steak today? Those are just, instances. But there's also things in life. Do I want to be a doctor, or do I want to be just a scientist? Or do I want to be someone that is serving in law, protecting people? Or do I want to be a teacher? Or do I want to be a musician? There's different things that we get into a place in life, and we have choices. When it comes to going through things, though, it's difficult to have doubts. These people during this time had no fear or doubt what the time was. They all came together and of one accord to have David be the king and to be under God in the kingdom of Israel. Bringing past to present. When we do get into situations like this, rely on the Lord. And if we do have fear, rely on Him. And when we do come together as a family of Christ, that is the Lord, that is the Holy Spirit bringing us together on one accord, and that is to praise and worship Him. And that is to make it to the goal. That is to continue moving forward in life. There's so many things here. There's sermon upon sermon. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind? Read over this. How does it make you feel? What does it make you think?